In this video, I'm going to show you how to export your transaction files out of Zipforms. First, log into Zipforms and you will land on your transaction dashboard. If you have a smaller amount of files or the files that you have aren't too big, you can go straight to this Select All button, and then you'll receive more options at the top in this toolbar. You have Delete, and then next to that you have Export. I'm going to click Export, and then it gives me two options. I can choose to download all the content, including notes, checklists, and history. I don't tend to keep those in mind, and I just want to save my documents, so I'm going to uncheck Content and just choose Zip Vault Content. This will download all of my documents that were part of the transaction. I'm going to click Export, and then it's going to show me how large the file will be. You don't export immediately out of Zipforms. What it does is it's going to send me an email with a link to download these files. So I'm going to say Export, and then I will go to my email for the next step. The second step of this process is when you receive the email from Zipforms saying that your download is ready for access. All you have to do is click on the green Sign In and immediately download file button to access your files. Here it is prompting me to log in. And once I've logged in, it's going to start the download. You can see in the bottom left corner it says Waiting for Zipforms, and that is where you can see that there is something happening, even though I can't see it right now on my transaction home screen or dashboard. But if I wait just a little bit longer, you will start to see a pop-up to ask where I would like to save these transactions. You can save your file on your desktop, in your documents, if you save in iCloud or OneDrive or Google Drive, wherever, Dropbox, wherever you typically store your documents, you can decide where you want that to be. I created a Zipforms folder. I am going to go ahead and save them here. I would suggest changing the name. They're all going to look like this if you download more than one file. And save, and you'll see the download starts to happen. And that is all you have to do to download your transactions out of Zipforms. Now, another piece to this is if you happen to have a lot of transactions, or if your transaction files are really large, you're not going to be able to download them all at one time. So what you're going to have to do is find a way to sort them and select them in a way that you can remember how many you've done in order to come back and get the rest of them. Maybe you don't have quite as many listings as purchases, so you could filter by listings and then select all and download those first. Let's say you are more of a buyer's agent, so you have quite a bit of purchases. I'm going to filter by purchases, but then I'm also going to select a sort, because if you go to export all of your files and you don't see the pop-ups telling you how large the file is, that selection is too large, so you need to select less files at a time. And so this is the best way to do it. So I'm going to do a purchase filter along with oldest first, and then I'm going to skip my active and go down to all my closed since I have more of those to show you how this works. So I am going to go through and individually select them. Yes, this is a tedious process, and I recommend being very specific with where you place your cursor when you click on the file, because if you click anywhere outside of that checkbox, it will open up the file and lose all the selection that you have already done. So here I can go through and select and say maybe I'm going to select all of my files all the way through maybe May of 2021. This is going to allow me to come back and do that same filter the next time. That would allow me to start at the end of that, so I know where I ended and I can come back to it and start again for the next batch. But once I've made this selection, I can then scroll back up to the top and click Export. Again, it's going to ask me if I want all of that content or just the documents. Click Export, and then it's going to tell me how large that export will be. Same process, you'll get an email and then you'll be able to download those files onto your computer, onto a thumb drive or your cloud storage, wherever you choose to store.